We'll come down into constructive rest. Begin here, resting comfortably on the back, the knees bent, feet in line with the sit bones, hands wider than the mat, palms up, spread your shoulder blades. Make the head comfortable. You can support it on a small cushion if you like. Turn it from side to side a few times, and then settle into the back of the skull. Let your whole body drop into the pull of gravity, and be aware of all the points that you're touching against the floor. Your feet, your sacrum, your mid-back, your upper back, your shoulder blades, the backs of the arms and hands, the back of the head. All those points of support. And then we'll connect with the inner support, the inner core, made up of the pelvic floor and the transversus abdominis wrapping around the low torso like a belt. Inhale, prepare for that inner core engagement. With the exhale, gather the pelvic floor in towards the center. Gently wrap your your transversus belt muscles around, and feel your whole lower torso and pelvic girdle really well supported. And then relax that. And soften completely. And we'll do it again. Remember that the pelvic floor is like a diamond anchored to the tailbone, the sit bones, the pubic bone. Picture that diamond. Picture the belt. With your exhale, shrink the diamond, gather the belt snug, and maintain. And then relax. Again, giving it to gravity. At each one of those points where you're touching the floor, drop down into the floor. One more time, prepare for the inner core. And exhale, find the support of the pelvic floor and the stabilizing effect of the belt. And maintain for a moment. And then relax. Bring your arms closer to your sides. Turn the palms to face each other. As you inhale, take the arms straight up into vertical. Take a moment there. Feel the fact of the humeral head being dropped into the sockets. Relax your shoulders. Engage your inner core. And then keep your neutral spine and pelvis. Reach your arms back towards the wall behind you. Stabilizing the neutral spine, neutral pelvis with your inner core muscles. Don't have to get anywhere in particular with the arms. They can bend at this point. And float the arms up. Drop the humeral heads into the sockets. Then continue that sense of floating as the arms come down to the sides. And we'll bring them up again. Inhale, float up to vertical. And exhale, stabilize with the inner core and reach back, keeping your spine still, your pelvis steady. And inhale, float the arms up to vertical. Drop the humeral heads into the sockets. And continue floating the arms, bringing them back down to the sides. Nice and easy. One more time. Smooth movement as you float the arms up. You're rolling the ball of the humeral head in the socket. Keep rolling it as you take the arms back towards the wall behind you. Stabilize the pelvis in the lower back. And keep the smoothness in the motion as you float the arms up. And then relax them down to the sides. And relax the work of the inner core. Hands behind the head, interlace the fingers. Open the elbows out wide, take a nice big inhale and feel your ribs. Be aware of the front ribs flaring apart. Be aware of the back ribs. The whole rib cage expands. As you exhale, we're going to reach the back ribs to the floor and knit the front ribs together. Keep your elbows out nice and wide as you do this work with the obliques. And inhale. Let the breath move in. Spread the ribs. Open the front. Open into the back. And then with the exhale, Draw the back ribs down to the mat and pull the front ribs together. You're still in your neutral spine. Your elbows are still out wide. And one more time. Inhale, let the ribs flare. And exhale, imprint and knit. Keep that and add your inner core. And go to a head lift with a neutral spine. Lift and lower down. Keep the engagement and lift and lower down. Once again, lift. Maintain your head lift. Re-engage the inner core, the imprint and knit of the ribs, and raise the right foot up. And then flex your foot. Extend your leg, reaching halfway between the ceiling and the floor. Bend the knee, relax your foot, and lower the leg back down. Steady the pelvis, inner core, ribs imprinting and knitting. Lift the left foot. Flex out through your heel. Bend the knee with inhale and exhale. Lower back down. Steady the pelvis again to the right side. And reach out through the heel. Straighten the leg. Bend the knee. And lower back down. Keep steadying the pelvis and go to the left leg again. And reach through the heel. And lower down, or bend the knee and lower down. And one more time on each leg. Steady pelvis. Reach through the heel. And bend the knee. Lower the foot. And last one. And reach through the heel. And bend the knee. And lower the foot. Bring your head down. Take your arms up. Make some small circles with your arms. And then reverse. And float the arms down to your sides. Relax in neutral for a moment. Keep the arms relaxed. Engage the inner core. Imprint and knit the ribs. And then without pressing into your feet, tilt your pelvis. Pull your pubic bone to the belly button. No pressure in the feet. Keeping the back flat. Gonna check that imprint in the ribs. And bring one foot up. And then the other foot up. You're still in your flat back. You're still imprinting and knitting the ribs. Bring your hands down to your sides. We'll prepare for the 100, which we're going to do with a flat back. So once again, we got the inner core, the pelvic floor, the belt, then the imprint and the knit, and the pelvic tilt. Press the palms in. Lift the head. Extend the legs. Keep your back flat. Roll your legs out in the saccades and exhale. 5 pulses of the arms. And inhale for 5 pulses of the arms. Chin is in towards the chest. Exhale for 5. And inhale. Keep the flat back. Keep drawing pubic bone to belly button. And inhale. Exhale for 5. And inhale. Exhale. Scoop the belly in. Drop your shoulders towards the floor. Exhale for 5. And inhale. Keep tilting the pelvis. Think pubic bone to navel. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more set. Exhale. Scoop the belly. And inhale. Lower your head. Bend your knees. Relax the legs. Relax the core work. Take your knees out wide for a moment. Relax your feet. Be sure that the feet are closer together than the knees are. And then with the legs very passive, start to push your knees around with your hands so you can make a circle with each leg in the socket. And reverse. And we'll bring the knees into the chest and give the knees a hug, lengthening the lower back, the back of the neck. Keep your back flat. Put both hands on your right knee. Straighten your left leg out onto the floor. Reach long through that left leg. Feel that front left thigh stretching. Pull your right knee towards the breastbone. And then we're going to release the flat back and come to a neutral spine. Tailbone down. Re-engage the inner core. Imprint and knit. Put your hands on the back of your right thigh and stretch the right leg up. And then bend the knee. Completely constant in the pelvis and lower back, please. Keep your neutral spine and straighten the right leg. From your stretch, come to the hamstring and bend. One more time. Straighten up. We're going to maintain. Point the toes. Pull the kneecap towards the hip joint. Reconnect with the core and draw an infinity sign with the leg. We're going 5 times each direction. Keep tracing the sign. It's a figure 8 but going side to side. So like an infinity sign you're drawing in the ceiling. 5 times one way and then reverse it and go 5 the other. Check that the pelvis and ribs are staying well supported. No rocking in the pelvis. And then we're going to bring the right knee to the chest. And bring the left leg in to join it. Both knees are hugged in. Lower back is flat. And then keep the back flat as you put the right leg down and straighten it out. Pull your left knee towards your breastbone. We're still in a flat back and straightening out the front right thigh. Then move the left knee out slightly. Root down through your tailbone. Put your hands on the back of your left leg. Keep your pelvis still without letting your back flatten. Straighten your left leg up towards the ceiling. Stretch the hamstring and bend the knee. As you're keeping your tailbone down, also keep your shoulders down. Straighten the leg up and bend the knee. And straighten up and bend the knee. Oops, I'm sorry, I think I didn't have you bend it that last time. Go back up to straight, re-engage, keep your neutral, and do your figure 8 infinity signs, 5 in each direction. Re-engage and reverse. And then we'll pull the left knee in and flatten the back. Slide the right leg in. Back is flat. Relax your feet and move your legs from side to side to rock on the pelvis. Let's keep the back flat. Engage the inner core, imprint and knit, and lower one foot down. And then the other foot down. And relax. We're going to move over onto the left side. Stretch out long. Move the feet slightly forward of the hips. Engage the inner core. Take an organ lift. Raise both legs up and then the top leg up and down 5 times. Squeeze the thighs together, then bottom leg down and up 5 times. Squeeze the thighs together, both legs forward and back 5 times. Steady the pelvis, steady the ribs. Shoulders still. Come to the center, squeeze the inner thighs. Lift the top leg a little higher. Circle it 5 times each direction. Fingertips on the mat in front of you rather than any instability. Renew, reverse. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Externally rotate. 10 little pulses in external rotation. Come back to parallel and flex the feet. Squeeze the toes, point the feet, fan the toes, flex back. Squeeze, point, fan, flex. Squeeze, point, fan, flex. Toes stay open and reach, squeeze and pull back. Open and reach, squeeze and pull back. Once more, open and reach, squeeze, pull back. Release the legs down, relax. And bend your knees so that your feet are behind you. 0 degrees hip flexion, nice long line down the front of the body. Engage your inner core. Keep your pelvis still. Rotate the right leg out 10 times. And bend the knees. Bringing them in front of you. 90-degree hip flexion. Feet and knees at the front of the mat. Align the knees. Tilt your top hip a little forward. Engage the inner core. Roll the right leg out in the socket. Keep your pelvis still. And final position, halfway between those two. 45-degree hip flexion, knees at the front of the mat, feet underneath you. Engage the inner core and roll the leg out 10 more times. Keep your pelvis steady, right hip reaching forward. Relax. We're going to displace the left knee a little forward and then press the right fingertips into the floor. Come up into a mermaid sit. Place your right hand on your right foot and reach your left arm up to the ceiling, side bend towards the right. Place your left hand down on the floor. Feel your right sit bone reach down to the floor as you slide your left forearm away. Put your elbow down on the floor. Keep dropping your right hip. You're not going to be touching the mat with your sit bone, but reach for it. And keep your arm straight. Reach the right arm up overhead and stretch yourself along through the right side. I'm going to sit up and turn on the mat. Sit with your knees bent. I'm going to float the arms out in front. Actually, I'm going to dig the heels into the mat so your toes are up and press your heels into the mat. Feel your hamstrings engage. Float your arms out in front of your chest. Hands in line with the sit bones. Scoop your belly button in, and as you exhale, push your belly button firmly back to your spine and reach your hands across the room. Now as you inhale, fill your back ribs with breath. Big breath through the nose. And with your exhale, reach your hands across the room. Press your belly button firmly back into your spine. Keep digging your heels into the floor. And with your inhale, breathe into your back ribs. Again, exhale. Reach the hands across the room as you press your belly button into your spine. Dig your heels into the floor. And inhale, breathe into your back ribs. Then twice more. Exhale. Press the belly button back and reach the arms forward. Inhale, breathe into your back ribs. And last one, press the belly button back. You're still digging your heels into the floor. And inhale, breathe into your back ribs. Now we're going to lower the arms, straighten the legs, and slowly roll down onto the floor. Actually, let's bring the hands across the chest and really make sure we keep the shoulders relaxed. So you've got one hand on the opposite shoulder. Roll slowly down through your spine. Scoop the belly in. And down now on your back. And we'll turn to the right side. Lengthening out long on the right side. Bring the feet slightly forward of the hips. Engage the inner core. Take an organ lift. Squeeze the inner thighs together as you lift both legs up. Take the top leg up and down 5 times. And then squeeze the inner thighs. And then the bottom leg down and up 5 times. Squeeze the inner thighs, forward and back, 5 times each direction. In the center, squeeze the inner thighs, lift the top leg a little higher, circle 5 times each direction. Your left fingertips can be on the floor in front of you. Renew and reverse. Squeeze the inner thighs, externally rotate both legs, and pulse the heels together 10 times in external rotation. Come to parallel and flex the feet back. Squeeze the toes, point the feet, fan the toes, flex the feet. Squeeze, point, fan, flex, squeeze, point, fan, flex. Open your toes and reach, squeeze, and pull back with the toes. Squeeze, open and reach, squeeze, and pull back. One more time. Squeeze and pull it back. Lower the legs. Relax. And then keep your thighs where they are. Bend at your knees so your feet are behind you. Engage your inner core. And roll the left leg out in the socket. 10 times. Keep the pelvis steady. And then let's go to 90-degree hip flexion. Knees and feet at the front of the mat. Tilt that left hip a little forward. Engage your inner core. Roll the leg out in the socket, keeping the pelvis still. And then let's go to the 45-degree halfway between the two positions. Check that your left hip is a little forward. Engage the inner core to stabilize the pelvis and roll the leg out in the socket. 10 more times. Good, then we're going to displace the right knee a little bit forward and use the left fingertips. Bring yourself up to a seated position, mermaid sit. Sit tall through the spine and put the left hand on the left foot. Raise the right arm up and bend towards the left side. Now I'm going to reach the right hand down to the floor and slide it away until you get your elbow down. Reach your left sit bone towards the floor. Keep your left arm straight and bring it up overhead. Lengthen and breathe. And then let's sit up and again pivot on the mat. Sitting with the knees bent. Keep your heels into the mat. Float your arms out in front of your shoulders. Feel your hamstrings are activated. And as you exhale, press your belly button firmly back into your spine and reach your hands across the floor, the room. And then as you inhale, breathe into your back ribs. Exhale, press the belly button back, reach the arms forward, dig your heels into the floor. And inhale, breathe into your back ribs. Again, exhale, press the belly button back, reach the arms forward, dig your heels in. Inhale, breathe into those really low back ribs. Try to get the biggest breath in the back of the ribs you can. Exhale, press the belly button back, reach the arms forward. And breathe into the back ribs with inhale. Last time, exhale, press the belly button back, reach the arms forward. And breathe into your back ribs. Sit tall, straighten your legs. Put your hands over your chest. Scoop your belly. Roll just partway down. Go as low as you can go without having your feet leaving the floor and without collapsing down to the mat. So we're going to find a place and then we're going to just hover here for a moment. Scoop the belly. Breathe. Keep pulling your belly button back towards your spine, relaxing your shoulders. Make sure you keep those heels down. Now pull the belly to the spine, keep the shoulders relaxed. Tilt yourself forward. Reach the top of your head towards your feet, then relax your arms down and hang into this hamstring stretch for a moment. Please do not collapse your upper back. Keep reaching the top of your head forward. Getting as much length between the belly button and the sternum as you can. Shoulders relaxed. Let's sit up and float up. So let's again take the hands across the chest. Engage the inner core. And this time we're going all the way down. We're going to keep the feet on the floor. Scoop the belly. Relax the shoulders. Take your time. Keep rolling. Keep pulling the pubic bone towards the navel. Roll all the way down. And once you're all the way down, let's stretch up and back and take a nice long stretch. Float the arms to the ceiling and down to the sides. If you have a ball handy, grab it or hold a towel or a cushion, open it between the knees. Relax the arms. Engage the inner core. I'm going to scoop the belly, drawing the pubic bone towards the navel. Press into the ball, imprint and knit, and then press into the feet to raise the hips up into a pelvic lift. And back down, imprinting the ribs, drawing the pubic bone to navel. Keep the squeeze on the ball. Move through the lower spine and then release to neutral. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Engage the inner core. Tilt the pelvis. Imprint and knit and squeeze on the ball. And then lift your hips up. And roll back down. Get those back ribs imprinted to the mat. Scoop the belly in. Roll through the lower spine. Keep squeezing on the ball. Once your tailbone's down, relax the squeeze and do that one more time. Inner core, tilt the pelvis, squeeze the ball, imprint and knit, and then press into the feet to lift the hips. And bring it back down. Keep scooping the belly as you come down. Now keep your back flat and lift your head up. Take the ball out, put it down on the floor, release the head, and then relax to neutral. Soften. Let's do the abdominal series. We're going to do a flat back abdominal series. Engage the inner core, imprint and knit, tilt the pelvis, keeping the back flat, lift one foot up and the other. Keep scooping the belly in, back is flat. Lift the head, bring both hands to one leg, extend the other leg out, and then switch. Keep scooping the belly in. Keep the shoulders still, the chin to the chest, your eyes off your thighs. Scoop the belly in, pull the pubic bone to the navel. Keep your flat back as we go to the double leg. Exhale, extend both arms, both legs. Press your lower back down. Inhale, bend the knees. Circle the arms around to meet. And exhale, reach out. Be sure your back doesn't peel away from the mat as you straighten the legs. You may want to take the legs a little higher than usual. Exhale, reach out, and inhale, come back in. Keep pressing the lower back down. Inhale back in one more time. Stretch it out. Come back in. Put your head down, hug your knees. Relax your neck. And return to the center. Relax. Draw the thighs in close. Re-engage the inner core. Lift the head. Extend one leg up, one leg down. Open your elbows. And then switch. Single straight leg stretch. Nice and long. One leg up, one leg down. Pelvis steady, back flat. Both legs up, hands behind the head. Keep scooping the belly. Lower the legs down slightly and come back up. Keep drawing the pubic bone to the belly button even when you bring your legs down. And lift it back up. And lower down. Flat back stays in place. Lift it back up one more time. Lower and lift. Bend the knees. Begin your bicycle. Keep your back flat. And then as you're ready, let the upper body join in. Bringing your armpit across towards the bent knee. But keep your pelvis steady. And then hug your knees. Relax your neck. Soften your shoulders. Keep your back flat and lower one foot. And then the other. Relax completely. We're going to finish up on the small ball. You could also use a foam roller. If you don't have either one of those, take a blanket and put it behind your rib cage. The ball is nice, the roller is nice because you can get some massage there. So we're going to use the ball kind of between the shoulder blades. If you have a foam roller, it will be under the bottom edge of the shoulder blades. If you've got a blanket, you'll put it so that the edge is right at your shoulders. And in all cases, we'll place the hands behind the head to support the neck. Engage the inner core. Let's tuck the pelvis, bringing your pubic bone to your navel. And then lift your hips up. Keep that sense of tucking and roll up and down the spine. Either the ball or the roller will give you the same effect. Keep your ribs pulling together. Massage along the length of the spine, scoop the belly in. You can continue to do that, or if you like, drop your hips down and bring your head back. Keep supporting the head as you open the chest. We'll reconnect inner core, tilt the pelvis, knit and imprint the ribs, lift the head, Go as far as you can with your hands behind your head. Then keep your feet down on the floor. Bring your hands either behind your legs or your elbows onto the floor and give yourself a push up. Lift tall. Place your hands on your bent knees or your bent legs and then fold down and relax the neck and shoulders. The head be heavy. And then sit up. And that's that. All right, thank you. So I'll see you at Conklin Hall on Saturday. And looks good for next Wednesday here as well. Okay, thanks.